Hello Libra, and welcome to your December reading. So this is going to be a big one because the shift that is happening, it's all kind of like singing to the great finale that is going to happen on December 21st when we have this great conjunction. Saturn and Jupiter are meeting in the sky from our point of view, and it's going to be a biggie. It happens every 20 years. It kind of creates kind of like new structures, and for the last 200 years those meetings and rendezvous were in the earth sign, earth element. Now this is shifting to air element, and guess who is in their sign? So in that video I explain a little bit more what is going to be really important. And to top it all, this month on December 14th we have eclipse in Sagittarius, and that really is going to be appealing to your sense of justice and fairness and support. It's going to be something that is going to push us to break into some kind of breaking some new grounds, and we will let go of need to be right. So things are going to work out in a different way. So let's see what you have. You're starting with this new direction. You're starting with this new beginning. It's clearly affecting you big times. This is clearly air sign. It's kind of like God life dimension and direction over here. You kind of like need to take that leap of faith. It's almost like an order. It's not almost like an order. It is a major arcana. When major arcana kind of like comes here, it's like the big boss asking you, could you please do this for me? Well, can you say no? Give it a try, right? And this is, and this is kind of crossed with the sun. So look, we are going from 0 to basically 1 vibration. So there is like something ramping up. And this is kind of like being the spotlight. This is also a theme that I'm experiencing that is really happening. Who is in my inner circle, who is not in my inner circle, kind of like a thing happening over here. So the sun is generally talking about the energy, and the sun is in Sagittarius, and it's December 1st is we have Mercury in Sagittarius. December 15th we have Venus in Sagittarius, and we have the sun in Sagittarius and eclipse in Sagittarius. So this is clearly evolving over this new shift that is really happening, and you are going to be there. You are observing all of that, and almost like in a studious way accumulating the experiences that you really need in order to put it in your tool chest of things that you need to lead more productive life, and also to get more benefits out of your own life. This also can talk about some extreme happiness about children, a possible pregnancy. Somebody might be pregnant. You might find news about pregnancy, and it could be a male child if that's the case. This also can talk about some kind of commitment of a sort, that maybe you're choosing a partner who is bringing a blended family, and that's kind of like something that needs to be taken in consideration as well. So you have the partner coming through, that whether this is your partner, somebody who is willing to be there for you, and somebody who is able to offer a huge emotional support, somebody is really there, right? There is an opportunity for simply feeling an enormous amount of comfort. So that's extremely positive. Or maybe there's a commitment as you're feeling that this partner is finally coming through, and you're finally clicking in a way that you can take it to the next level. Yeah, and that's actually a quantitative change, because it felt like there was almost like a willingness to be solo. Like maybe you were embarking in a new direction. Maybe like there were kind of like two different choices. Maybe you were pulling kind of like away. But this is also a very spiritual card that kind of pushes you in a direction of it's really interesting, because even though this card represents Cancer and this card represents Leo, or actually the sun rather to say, but we also have a lion's head over here. So this is also very spiritual. You can see the kitty doesn't have any reins for these great days. The key is simply blasting that sun that we kind of like have this as a repeated motive. It almost like was you were racing towards some kind of like fulfillment, which I feel it's really happening for you this month. And it was something that you almost like felt it's now or never kind of a thing. And then you have Earth Kitten, and it could be that you're with somebody who is younger. This also can represent your children. Maybe your children are exploring the world and exploring people around them that are different, or they are obtaining different experiences of some sort, or simply you're meeting a partner who is very much different from you. And it's going to be kind of like that quantitative change, as even with a sea king, it shows kind of like generally air signs don't need that emotional fulfillment. Air signs more or less need a companion who will be active at mind will be active. You don't necessarily have to be active at activities. That's more like a fire sign thing, even though that also appeals to air signs. But in this case, because we see that fire coming through here, but this is like somebody who is maybe more reserved and more quiet by nature, but it's almost like what the doctor kind of prescribed. This is kind of like what is needed. Whoa, you have the World, and this is technically directly talking to you. First of all, it's a karma card. Like, look at this. Like, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The entire cross, horizontal cross, is major arcana. As I said, this is not only one boss, but 4 bosses coming through and politely asking you to do something, except you are getting all the accolades, you're getting all the honors, you're getting this kind of like successful thing. This is talking about the transition on the 21st, which is like the great conjunction. It takes place on the 21st, and also we have the winter solstice. So there is like a shift happening, and you have the ability to kind of like really feel accomplished, and this kind of like case that something is really, really happening. This is also a card of immediate rewards. So even though it's going to take 21 days, if you're listening this on December the 1st, you will be actually getting all along the path, kind of patting on the shoulder that things are really happening and going well. Make sure that you do not forget that it took blood and tears to get there, because this is really talking about other people who are maybe still trying to invade your world and shake that equilibrium that can be connected to this Earth Kitten, right? This is talking about boundaries, it's talking about danger, it's talking about different things. It clearly says that there's still a little bit of ground that needs to be covered over here, right? So it's almost like you have this lofty ideas, everything is happening, you're being set up for this celestial promotion and things are happening, but then somebody kind of like spills the coffee on you in the last moment before you have to come out. So it's going to be some kind of like element of surprise. And then you have another karma card over here, and it is in your environment. It is the card of the victory. Somebody's going to feel very victorious. Somebody's coming with some kind of truth forward. And the swords, Ace of Swords, basically, or Ace of Sky that they call it here, they have 2 blades on each side. So there's somebody who's cutting things on the inside, on the outside. It's a double-edged sword, literally, that something is happening. Are you going to cut them off, or they cut you off, or vice versa? Or does it mean that now you're finding the meeting of the minds? Either way. In your hopes and fears, you have 6 of Fire. And this is the victory. Again, this is the victory as well. So you do want to be victorious. You kind of like, your desire would be to be the center of attention. So there is the sun, there is the sun, there is the sun here. So you clearly want to shine. It's really, really important to you. What is a fly in the ointment in the situation is that you don't really jive with everybody. There are people who are contrarians, and there are people who are not necessarily on your side, or people who find you really as an oddball, or you find others as an oddball. The whole point of this leadership, as I kind of like see it spelled out, is that you need to kind of like take everybody under your wing, and you need to be prepared for it. So this means setting strong boundaries, but it also means allowing others to speak their own truth. And then we have 10 of Sky, and that's a clear warning. With all of these great cards that are coming through, this is happening. Do not put yourself in a corner, because sometimes, because look at this, the sun is now covered, the clouds are now coming through, and I really don't think this is going to be happening to majority of you, because majority of people take success with humbleness. And if you do not take your success and accolades and all the praises with humbleness, and you accomplish what other people contributed, and or accomplish your own, I guess, fallouts, then you might be exposed, because this really talks about somebody who's being attacked. Look at it, they're throwing stones in the poor kitty. The poor kitty is in a corner, the rain is falling. His tail is broken. He's lost his eye. So he finished his 9th life. And we know this is going to be the end of the process. So this card is linking to this one. And I really do not think this is somebody from your circle. So you guys have an enemy. Mark my words. So be careful, because somebody is waiting for you to make a misstep. And that might be costly. I don't know if you guys dealing with a legal system, or this is like really talking to about a marriage of some sort. Maybe you are dating somebody who is technically married or separated, and they actually cannot leave that situation. Clearly this is only clarifying that card, because I really wanted to see why this kind of like jumped through as clearly warning and telling you, hey, keep your composure. You are supposed to signify the harmony and balance. So if things are out of balance, even if this means you enjoying your place in the sun and just saying it's finally my time, it's really telling you to really, really beware of that, right? Because somebody is waiting for something that they can use, right? So it could be also that this signifies the end of misunderstanding, or also literally the end of a relationship of some sort, that somebody is going to feel that you're too much for them, or you're going to feel they're way too much, they're taking kind of like your wind away. So I think the advice would be this month that you need to take responsibility and acknowledge your wrongdoings, and that's going to set you free. And there is like the theme that I have seen with you, that absolutely there is like you are predicted and pushed into really good direction. There's still little kind of like little things that you really need to iron out. You have 2 karma cards in the reading, and that is a biggie. So guys, you need to take a new leap, and you need to kind of like start reacting to things in a different way, be a little bit more encompassing, and also be very clear on who is on your team, who is not, but also be very open-minded to kind of like allow things to happen. Guys, this is it. If you guys are on my social media, then you'll be getting one extra edition of a little mini kind of like introduction to what's going to be happening to 2021. If you're not going to get it. So hence subscribe, social media, so on and so forth, right? And if you want a reading from me, you can join me at ketarot.ca. You can see all these different options. If you're a past client of mine, then you can get an annual forecast, which is an hour and a half. It has all the quarterly reviews and has all the astrological houses covering all aspects of your life. It has Lenormand, and Lenormand gives you timeline and tells you where all these aspects may occur, so you can literally have the roadmap for 2021. And stay tuned, because very soon is going to appear the Great Conjunction video to the link Great Conjunction. Check it out, because your air sign, big shift is happening, as you're seeing. So you're being told what are the possibilities, and you're going to be told what are the caveats. And lastly, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It was a pleasure serving you. It was a pleasure being with you. You can say that I have a Libra ascendant. So I am learning this lesson here. See how this works. Love you. I know you're going to be doing well. And until the next time, also don't forget to join me on my live every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All the best.